All right, I think I'm live. I'm hoping this is going to work. If somebody's on here, can let me know if you can hear me or see me or whatever. I'm a little annoyed by this as I start on this video about the drawing for the 3,000 members subscribers. I mean, because I had it all set up in StreamYard to stream live through that software, and I had the pictures all ready to go, so I can put out pictures of the couple of books I don't have on hand, and StreamYard's not communicating with YouTube at the moment, so I'm putting this straight through YouTube. So Lord willing, we're live. My biggest fear is that nobody can hear me, but I'm hoping that the audio is right. So if nobody's on still, uh, I had people waiting on the other video, and they're probably still trying to wait for that other one to start, as opposed to coming over to this new one. So I'm going to give it just a couple of more seconds. I'm going to look at something else, and I'll start talking about the books in just a couple of moments. All right. Well, this is mega drawing video number 2. This is the drawing that I'm going to do to celebrate 3,000 Rev Reads subscribers. We're going to be giving out 19 books. We're at 2,952 subscribers as of the moment. I announced the first books for the drawing in the first video, and that is Must Faith Endure, Dominion by Tom Holland, Must Faith Endure by Tom Stiegel, The Kingdom Come by Andy Woods, Calvin, edited by Alan Lemke, written by a whole bunch of contributors, Seculosity by Dave Azal, Dead Men Rising by Jonathan Williams, also includes the study guide for Dead Men Rising, God and Eternity and Time by Robert Piccirilli, The AI Theist by Michael Spiegel, and also Tom Chafee's Fallen. So those are what we've already announced, and now here are the other books that are going to be brought out for the drawing. And I'm doing them from like the largest book to the smallest books. That's the order that we're putting them out there. So just the size of the books themselves. So I'll say the first one actually is the one that I don't have here. We'll start off with that one. It is Bewitched by David Anderson. Wish I knew how to put pictures onto the way YouTube Live is here. But it is Bewitched by David Anderson. I love Bewitched. It is a book that it's sort of a commentary on Galatians, but really it's about legalism in the church and about how Christians have been bewitched to be right with Christ based on the law and legalizers. Bewitched by David Anderson is my favorite book that David Anderson has written. It is excellent, and so you'll be getting a copy of Bewitched by David Anderson. Again, it's got a cool cover, so I wish I had a physical copy. I wish I could put that up on the screen, but alas. Next book that I will be giving out. This is one with a study guide, and this is Person of Interest by J. Warner Wallace. This book is awesome. We have the Investigator's Guide with it as well. One of the amazing things about this book, and I don't say it often, but the illustrations, the pictures in it by Wallace are incredible all throughout. And Wallace drew the illustrations himself. And they're just all so good. This is one of my favorite books. If somebody wants an introductory book on apologetics, or a great book for teens on apologetics, to me, Person of Interest, right at the top, why Jesus is the most important person who has ever lived, and why Jesus being the most important person who has ever lived is evidence for him being our Christ and Messiah. So Person of Interest with the study guide. Next book is my favorite humor book, The Babylon Bee's Guide to Gender. So this is the full, beautiful, full cover Babylon Bee Guide to Gender. This is a great book. It is funny. It is hilarious. I love recommending this one. So the Babylon Bee Guide to Gender. Oh, and I want to say a big thank out to Zondervan for this copy of Person of Interest. And thank you to Salem Books for providing this copy of the Babylon Bee Guide to Gender. The next book is probably Corey Marsh might get offended by saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways because it's actually how I feel. The best looking of these books is Remaking the World by Andrew Wilson. This book by Crossway is an absolutely beautiful book. The jacket is beautiful. The Look at that illustration there in the front of that book. It is just a gorgeous book. You will love having this one on your bookshelf. And not only that, it is an amazing book to read. Andrew Wilson's Remaking the World, a book that is all about how the decade of the 1770s, specifically looking primarily at the year 1776, how that changed the world so much. And there's so much you will learn about this book. It is a joy to read. It is fun, and it is a beautiful, beautiful book. This is probably the most attractive of all of the 19 books that I will be giving, but it's a really close running for most attractive because the Babylon Bee Guide for Gender is an amazingly printed book. Person of Interest probably has the best illustrations inside of it of any of these books. Calvinism is a good printed book as well by B&H. But then the next one would probably be in the running for the second book for most attractive books out of the ones that are on here, and this is Discovering Dispensationalism, the hardcover book that has been brought out to us by Southern California Seminary Press, edited by Corey Marsh, James Fazio. To me, this is one of the best of books you'll get on dispensationalism. So good, tracing dispensational thought throughout the history of the church. I loved this book so much, and I'm so excited that whoever wins this drawing is going to win a copy of this book. You will love it. This is excellent. This is so great. So some wonderful church history right here in pretty different ways with discovering dispensational, remaking the world. Great differing books on church history. Even you could say Person of Interest is a book on the history of how Christ has impacted the world during the church age. So another, just really good books that are here. This one I'm trying. This is kind of going to be self promotion, but I feel like if I'm giving out all of these books, I might as well give out mine too. So this is a copy of Reset Your Life by Sean Wilson, where I just walk you through the chapter of Colossians 3, and it is about setting your mind on Christ, who's seated at the right hand of God, and how we do that. Ideally, when I was playing video games as a kid, sometimes you want to reset the game when you get stuck somewhere. So this is about resetting your life every single day on Jesus Christ and how to set yourself on Him who is seated at the right hand of God. So my book, Reset Your Life. Shameless self promotion, but might as well be giving it out there with the rest of them. The next, this should have been right next to Discovering Dispensationalism, but the classic by Charles Ryrie, Dispensationalism. I think this is the latest edition and look of dispensationalism. So this is just a really great book by Ryrie, and so. It's a classic. I feel like what is there to say about this? Probably no book better describes what dispensationalism is in the 20th century than Ryrie's book, Dispensationalism. It's just one that I would love to make sure that we're giving out here and highlighting. So, Dispensationalism by Charles Ryrie. Next book was a former book of the year. This was the 2022 Rev Reads Book of the Year, so it's going to be a good one, and that is Larry Hurtado's Destroyer of the Gods. So this is a book on early church history and how the early Christians destroyed the paganism and polytheism of the Roman Empire. It is a fascinating book. Dominion covers some of this as well too, as far as what polytheism was like in the ancient Roman world and how the church just cleared it out. It is an amazing journey and discovery to learn about that. So, Destroyer of the Gods, Larry Hurtado. This is, like I said, it's so good. It was my 2022 book of the year with all the 100 books I read that year. I put this one as the best. I love Destroyer of the Gods by Larry Hurtado. Ron, who asked if I announced when the drawing will take place, I should have started with that. The drawing for all of these books is going to take place whenever I hit 3,000 subscribers. So I'm at 2,952. Whenever I hit 3,000 subscribers, whenever I can get next to my computer after I hit that point, I'm going to spin the wheel and see who wins the drawing. So it'll be whenever I hit 3,000 subscribers. So if you enter the drawing and you're like, I want it to happen soon, tell your friends about Rev Reads and tell them to subscribe, and the drawing will happen a little bit faster. So it's whenever I hit 3,000 subscribers. But we are not done. We have two more books for the pile. This book is excellent. I love it so much. How Does God Draw People to Believe Jesus by Dr. Robert Carey. This is a book about how God draws people in John chapter 6, what Jesus means when he talks about the Father's drawing. And he not only talks about drawing in John 6, but he does a deep dive into the word for drawing, where you end up seeing that it is not just drag, it's got more nuance to the word than that. And then not only on top of that, but he also talks about the ways throughout scripture that it talks about God drawing people to himself. So this is a wonderful book. I wish more people read it and knew about it. It is an excellent book. Just so good on John chapter 6. So how does God draw people to believe in Jesus? And we're already there. Book number 19. And that was last year's book of the year. And that is Prayer Works by Brother Andrew. Little book, doesn't look like much, but this book has changed the way that I pray. I believe I pray better. I believe I pray more passionately and consistently. I pray with greater confidence. After reading this book by Brother Andrews, it was so impactful in the small size that it was, that last year I had to be like, this is my best book of the year. So the 2022 Rev Reads book of the year, 2023 Rev Reads book of the year, 2024 Rev Reads book of the year are on here. So you're going to be getting definitely some of my favorite books. So this is the pile of books that I will be sending to someone. Minus two, Fallen by Tim is a thick book that's going to sit up here. And then on top of that, another book that's probably about the width of Dispensationalism, and that is Bewitched Neo-Galatianism by David Anderson. Oh, and I've been failing to thank all the publishers throughout. Thank you to Baylor University Press for providing the copy of Larry Hurtado's Destroyer of the Gods. Thank you for Grace Theology Press. Grace Theology is sending us two books to the winner, and that is Bewitched by Anderson, and also How Does God Draw People by Carey. And of course, thank you to Southern California Seminary for the wonderful, beautiful copy of Discovering Dispensationalism. And I think we already mentioned Crossway. Thank you to them, and Salem, Zondervan, Dr. Spiegel for providing his book. B&H provides us God in Eternity and Time and Calvinism. Thank you, Jonathan Williams, for providing us with your book. True Grace Books for providing The Kingdom Come, Must Faith Endure, and also Basic Books for providing us with Dominion by Tom Holland. So there's the book. There's the stack. How do you not want this stack of books? There are two ways to enter the drawing. The first way is to become a member of Rev Reads. If you go to buymeacoffee.com/Rev Reads, the link will be in the description. Become a member of the channel, support what we're doing here at $3 a month or more. And if you're a member of the channel, your name will be put in the drawing twice. So they have a Wheel of Fortune wheel that you can spin with as many names on it as possible. And I'm going to put everybody's name on there. But if you're a member of the channel, your name will be on the wheel twice. And I'll spin that wheel live, like I said, after we hit 3,000. So if you want to join, become a member, and you can join. The other way to join is not by commenting on this video on YouTube, but comment on the video on my Facebook group. Because if you go onto the Facebook group, join that group, comment there, I know I will be able to get in touch with you to send you that books. But I've had a hard time getting in touch with people who comment on YouTube. So go to Facebook. The link again will be in the description to here, and look for this video or the first video I had on the drawing. The thumbnail is the thumbnail for this video. It's going to be the same thing that you'll see on there. It's sort of half yellow with me holding that stack of books. Comment on it on Facebook, and you will be entered in that drawing. As soon as I get off of here of being live, I will I'll share the video that I'm doing now onto that Facebook group so you can comment there. So again, as soon as I hit 3,000 subscribers, we're giving out 19 books, like a little personal Rev Reads library of all of my favorite books. These are all books that I loved reading so much. Some of them I've discovered specifically because of the channel, wouldn't know about them without Rev Reads. So again, the person who wins this drawing will be winning Dominion by Tom Holland, Must Faith Endure by Tom Stiegel, The Coming Kingdom by Andy Woods, Calvinism, edited by David Allen and Steve Lemke, Seculosity by David Zoll, Dead Men Rising by Jonathan Williams. You will also get the study guide for that book. God in Eternity Time by Robert Piccirilli, The AI Theist by Michael Spiegel, Person of Interest by J. Warner Wallace. Get the study guide for that as well. The Babylon Bee Guide to Gender, Remaking the World by Andrew Wilson, Discovering Dispensationalism, edited by Corey Marsh and James Fazio. My book, Reset Your Life, Dispensationalism by Charles Ryrie, Destroyer of the Gods by Larry Hurtado, How Does God Draw People to Believe in Jesus by Robert Carey, Prayer Works by Brother Anderson, Bewitched by David Anderson, and Fallen by my good friend Tim Chafee, who I love, and his book is great. So that's it. I'm kind of getting out of breath just saying all the titles. So two ways to enter. Again, it is through the Facebook group at Rev Reads, and then also it is through buymeacoffee.com/Rev Reads. So may the odds be ever in your favor. I am rooting for everybody to win. So no matter who you are, I will be over the moon for whoever gets to win these books because I love them so much. This will probably, if doing this drawing will probably be my favorite moment that I've had so far in Rev Reads, giving out these books, because I'm going to be super excited about it because like these books are awesome. This is such a good set. And so thank you so much for those who have viewed in the live stream. And again, we got to hit 3,000 members. So if you want to encourage anybody to become part of the channel, subscribe, follow it. And as soon as we hit 3,000, we'll be giving these books away.